Hey guys, Romie here, so please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Greenleaf, Season 2, Episode... What is this? Episode 12. Home Rules. Now this episode... there's a lot... This episode is definitely the builder to some mess, and I appreciate every moment of it because it was very messy. It started off with the one and only Pastor Skanks. Pastor Skanks, he's doing this big sermon essentially, and I can't believe people didn't see this coming. I knew exactly what he was talking about as soon as he started to talk. He was referencing how the church and what is focused on the church, and that we're all sinners, and in the eyes of the Lord, essentially almost everything that we do is sin. We eat shrimp, shellfish, so we're sinning. We go and judge others, so we're sinning. Everything that we do, sin. Everything. And most of the congregation was like, yes, that's right. Yes, I know I'm a born sinner. And while all that's going on, then he flips it to, so why is it that that homosexuality is seen differently? And that's when people got quiet. Those amens went to, Now, it's messed up because when that happened, I have to be honest, I also was like, ooh, yeah. And it's like, well, why are we condemning one but not the other? I was like, oh, yeah, it's true. I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm watching a show, and like, how am I also going and aided in that narrative where one of the silent majority that's like, okay, even though, yeah, I see exactly where you're coming from, oh, yeah, I don't really want to say anything out loud. So that was food for thought for me for a moment. But as we know, originally everyone was thinking that Basie, that's Skanks' actual name, Basie, was just saying this to go and be a rebel rouser. But we see that he is passionate about putting, his name and brand behind this. Again, a lot of people still think that he's doing this for ratings and stunt and show. So next morning when Lady May and Bishop, they're kind of going over what happened, May agree that, oh, they feel like he's just doing this for a stunt. Gigi, on the other hand, feels like, wait a minute, so are you saying that you don't agree with how the church condemns homosexuality, but kind of gets quiet on everything else because a lot more people are involved with the other sins instead of that one? And he said, no, it's not that. It's just that I don't feel like he's doing this for the right reasons. So Bishop spun it himself. Gigi's still on this whole mantra of maybe we need to go and see if we can work with Skanks instead of working against him. We know Bishop isn't going to want that. He's not having that. Kevin is nowhere to be found, so Charity is still being a single mother, and I appreciate the fact that the family's taking turns assisting her. While all that's going on, Lady May has two things she has to do today. One, she needs to talk to Jacinta again and clarify a few things, because she wants to see how Jacinta and Rochelle, that's Miss Cross, the little potential Jezebel, what's been going on with her and her backstory. And I said, and I already knew what it was. I told you guys what it was. I knew instantly what it was. See, that's what I should be writing for these shows. I see it. I feel it. I understand people real life like that. Back at, the Greenleaf Jr., that's what I'm calling it, Jacob is having trouble with Carissa because even though he got the lights turned back on, the issue at their house is that things are still in shambles. They still have the church without no walls, and that's great. But Carissa's saying, I work, my income can afford the bills. That's it. I don't have enough money to go and renovate this house. If I did, I wouldn't be bothering you because I do believe in what you're doing. But what about getting a job? He was like, excuse me? Getting another job? I'm thinking, dude, you do that on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Pick a day. Even if it just starts off as one day. Get a regular job. I was here for Carissa when she said that because the baby went and plugged in something and it knocked the power out again. So Carissa said, look, you need to go and figure this out because I can't be doing all this. Now, Grace, she's taken over Kevin's his responsibilities as it was the reach out. ministry, the ministry that Kevin was in charge of, and outreach. That's what it is. Reach out, Jesus, outreach. And while she's looking through all of his files, she notices something very troubling. But before she does, she's talking, and she's having the conversation with the receptionist, and I believe it's Darla. And Darla lets her know, look, are you going to go and preach again? I mean, I don't think you'll have much time to do that if you're doing this. Grace almost had a look of, exactly. I'm thinking, Grace, chill. But then Dee tells her, this is how it works. I understand you don't feel like people get you or pay attention to you or listen to you, but understand that, God and his disciples, Jesus and his disciples looked at them the same way that you feel like people are looking at you and judging you or not understanding you. So don't ever think that because of what people potentially think, let that stop you from your true calling. That's what she was trying to tell the child. Bishop, he goes over to, what is it called? He goes over to not Calvary, Triumph, and he sees his Savory character. Now, I don't know if he truly eavesdropped and heard what the Savory character was telling Skanks, but old dude was saying, look, you owe me $50,000. You gotta get to me like tomorrow or else. And then that's when Bishop comes in. So then when old dude leaves, he kind of sizes up Bishop, and I'm thinking, what? What? I don't know if he thought there was also a loan shark or not, but hey. So that gave me a quick little chuckle, and also like, really, dude? Really? He's a bit in your real... Alright. Skanks wants to go and play it off like, oh yeah, so what are you doing here? Because instead of Bishop trying to pursue what was going on there, he said, you know what? Here's this thing. Leave my daughter alone, and whatever spell you have over the kids, the Greenleaf kids, drop it. Because Jacob, whatever deal you made, it was trash, and you took advantage of his situation. You know he has a soft head, a soft brain. You can't fault him too much for that, but I'm going to need for you to go and take responsibility and be accountable and leave my daughter alone. Because trust and believe, that downfall you thought that was coming upon me, it's really for you. So watch your back. Watch your back, watch your side, watch your front. And it seems like there's some people watching your back, your front, your side, ready to come after you too. So I'd be super careful if I was you. I said, ooh, Bishop does know that all things aren't perfect and perched. They're at Triumph. No, they're not. Now, Bishop again talking to Lady May, because Lady May, they're kind of going over the game plan. Again, she still needs to talk to Jacinta and all that stuff. And Mrs. Cross is on the line. So Bishop picks up the phone, and he was like, oh, well, it was nice talking to you. It was nice hearing your voice. I'm thinking, Bishop needs to stop, because this woman is dangerous. She is dangerous, and it's only a matter of time before things go left. Things go super left. Now, Grace has some issues, because one of the things is that there was an article done by Darius, and the article, it doesn't really paint necessarily Calvary in the best light. He's more so going after Triumph, because he was there listening to Skanks, Basie's, I almost said rant. Sermon. And when I tell you Darius had that look of, if looks could kill. But Grace wants to go and talk to her father, because she's trying to figure out, Daddy, what are we going to do about this whole homosexuality thing, and about the church not embracing the fact that, homosexuality, yes, it is another sin, yes, it's in the Bible, but we're condemning a group of people. And the father's like, hold up, I understand where you're coming from. I know, for example, there's people who look at homosexuals like they look at us, as in black people, in the same vein, with the same hate, the same not understanding, not wanting to get to know person and see them for actually being people. All of us just being people. I get it. I'm there with you. But after all of these excuses he was making, he finally acknowledged the fact that he is scared. He does not know how to go and be that person to jump in and do this himself and really get people behind him, because he's not 100% sure if it's something he should do, because he's not sure if he really understands his true feelings on it and really understands the period to go and speak on it. And I said, I'm okay with that, because that is his truth. What's wrong with that being his truth? What is wrong with that being his truth? I mean, he's been taught one thing all of his life, and he's seen these inconsistencies, so now he's looking at things very differently. But it doesn't mean that all of that just goes away. Grace was upset, but he said he'll pray on it, and she knows that he takes that seriously, so she said thank you, Daddy, and left. But her feelings were still hurt, because she also found these pamphlets that were these essentially pray the gay away type of programs that Kevin was involved with, and he was taking Epicat and to throw up, and they even did vlogging, anything to associate gay with pain and negative pain, not some S&M pain. And she was just trying to figure out, Kevin was here for 8 years, and he talked about you preaching love and all of that, but he didn't feel enough love to go and say who he really is. I said, that's deep. That is deep, and that is something to think about. That is something to really think about. That speaks volumes. Charity, oh Lord, she sees Jabari, and yes, it's funny because I always knew his name, but whenever it came time to do videos, I could never say it. Jabari is there. She's so happy to see her bae. He gives her a gift and says, I want you to go and record the songs for me, because you flying out to Nashville, one, that's expensive, two, that's ineffective, you have a child. He didn't say that, but this is one thing. So I want just to help you out and do this. And she at first thought, oh, so you don't want me to go to Nashville anymore? He's looking at her like, hello? That's not the problem. There is no problem. I just wanted to go and help you out. So she said, oh, okay. She appreciates it. Charity, this almost sounds like a real business. This feels like a business relationship through and through. Now, Jacinta meets up with Lady May, and while they talk about how, oh yes, it's great that the Greenleaf girls will be there, Lady May had other plans, and she brings up Rochelle. And was it Rochelle or Raquel? I don't care. Miss Cross, and she kind of talks about how, yeah, she told me why she left the other church, and the fact that she's looking elsewhere and possibly at Calvary. It's like, wait, she told you that? I'm thinking, come on, Jacinta, be a little bit smarter. She's baiting you. Well, yeah, it just sucks because, and it's messed up, because why is it that the men can get away with it, but the blame gets placed on the woman? I said, ding, 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 I told you guys that she went creeping with the deacon, and then she got kicked out, or she got scared away, or he didn't actually leave his wife, and then she looked like the other woman. So then Jacinta said, oh, please don't tell her that I said anything, because I thought she was going to say keep an eye on her, but she only said just make sure not to tell her that I kind of put that out there. And I'm thinking, of course she's not going to. You gave her exactly what she wanted, and she's probably going to try and get more information out of you, so she's not going to burn her bridges. That is one thing Lady May will not do. Isaiah was in Zora's room, and Zora, she's doing this project, and she's trying to figure out this whole concept with the moths, and the reference to, how originally the moths, because they stood out in natural selection, they got picked off very easily in nature. So then next time they evolved and their wings, changed color to match the surface that they are on. And so then it was kind of talk about how people I think it was like should be more like the moths or shouldn't be more like the moths, or people are just or more or some people are just like the moths where they stand out and they get picked apart type of thing. I said, oh, that's kind of deep, but why from this angle you look like a 20-something-year-old all over this clearly teenage girl? I don't know. Next thing we know, we hear a knock. I said, ooh, daddy's home. Daddy's home. Jacob says, oh, hey, I got you some donut. Got you some donuts. Opens that door. Looks like, oh, what is he doing here? Oh, yeah, he was helping me with a biology project. Oh, Isaiah, can I talk to you out here? No, no, not can I. Isaiah, let me talk to you out here. So he got his stuff, and then Jacob said, look, little boy, I'm going to make this very clear. You already know that that door never closed, ever closed when you were here. I don't know what made you think that it would be okay this time, but it's not. And the next time you don't come into my house and let me know prior to, trust and believe that will be the last time you're allowed in this house. You hear me? So then he gets kicked out. Isaiah looked like he wanted to crap his pants and just die. And I loved every moment of it. Zora, she didn't look scared. She looked irritated like, you know what? Well, you what? I said, and I what? I what? What, I cheated on your mother? Yeah, I know. I did that. Everyone knows I did that. And, I'm trash for that, but I'm a better man, hypothetically now. What else you got for me? What else? Oh, he helped with the GoFundMe? Go help me? I'll give all the money back. Like, well, I said, because I'm just looking at Zora like, what are you about to say, little girl? I'm fine with him popping her one good time, because that's his daughter. There's a difference. There is a difference. I don't care that, oh, she's old. No, she's hot in the pants. She wanted, right before, if Jacob didn't come in there, her and Isaiah were about to have sex again. She was like, oh, let's just do this for 2 minutes. 2 minutes what? Anyway. Bishop is talking with Rochelle, and she lets him know that she's going to make Calvary her home. I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's going to be a mess. He was like, oh, I'm excited. Oh, of course you are. Of course you are. Jabari and Charity, they're going to have a date, and Charity needs a babysitter. So she wants to go and ask Gigi, but Gigi, says that her date's at 6:30, so it conflicts, but Gigi says, of course, Darius is cool, so I can just change it. Whatever you need. Look, I'm here for you. I love my nephew. I want to spend time with him. I can actually do something for you and be a good big sister. Absolutely. Let's do this. So now, because early in the episode, Bishop and Lady May said, why don't we go over and show a sign of good faith? Go to Jacob's house instead of him always coming over here, meeting him where he's currently at to show that we're not trying to go and present ourselves or try to make him feel a certain way. So they're there. They're having a nice conversation. And when I say nice, I'm being sarcastic. It goes left very quickly because we know Carissa is very Old Testament. Very Old Testament. So anything having to do with homosexuality. Now, mind you, now they know that Kevin is gay, and maybe she had more of a problem with that than we thought. She's just kind of getting off this vibe of, yes, I know, oh, they're oppressed. Yes, yeah, the homosexuals and the lesbians and the pans and the bisexuals and the the transgender community. Oh, I understand they're all oppressed, and I understand that, but let them go and be oppressed over there. We go and uplift everyone else over here. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. But the main reason for this meeting is to see what's going on at Triumph. They're trying to see, well, you did all of this and you got the land and one more thing from Triumph. But why did he even agree to that? I'm hearing that there's some ruffling going on. Some ruffians that are potentially there over at Triumph. Is there anything you need to tell me? Nope, not a darn thing. So Darius is over, and Darius gets told by Grace that her date is going to include a cute little baby boy. I'm going to have to go and babysit him. Yeah, but you're okay with that, right? Yeah, of course. Zora is in the car with Sophia. They're driving to this etiquette class, and Zora keeps texting Isaiah because Isaiah needs his ego stroked. Oh, gross, among other things, I guess. Ugh. And she keeps texting. Sophia's irritated because she's trying to figure out, well, you know, at this place, they're probably going to take your phone away. You're probably not going to be able to use your phone. Will you be able to handle that? She's like, okay, I get the message. So then she puts out her phone. It keeps beeping. And Sophia says, just take it. Just take it. Oh, that's so sad. Charity, her date with, well, I guess we can call it a date. So her date with Jabari, even though it went well, Jabari pretty much scooted out of there, out of that car. That car was nice. It looked like an alley. Scooted out of there, gave her a peck on the cheek. Charity's looking at him like, I gave you a full-blown kiss last episode, and you're giving me a peck on the cheek after the date. So then, another date going awry is, hold on. Is the one between Grace and Darius. Why? For one easy reason. Grace finds out from Darius that he talked to Kevin. Not Kevin. Now that would have been interesting. That he talked to Carlton and got that information about, Calvary from Carlton. And she's trying to figure out, oh, why did you do that behind my back? And he had to remind her, you're the one that told me to go and do stuff like that, to not inform you. She said, oh, well, yeah, okay, when you put it like that. But it's just weird because it just feels like you're trying to always get something on my family. Me, I'm really trying here, and it just feels like you're trying to sabotage everything. What do you mean sabotage? Every pass and turn, we're supposed to have a date. You decide to babysit because you didn't want to really go and spend time with me. I'm thinking, okay, you're reading too much into this, but yes, it's very obvious that if she really, really wanted to just make this day exclusive, and you don't know each other well enough to go and while you're building a relationship to say, oh, well, can't we just make this a fun little minor date instead of a full-blown one? But the whole thing is, one wants to move, or one's thinking about moving, one isn't thinking about moving. We know that Gigi's in a very odd place and space in her life, and at this point, Darius realizes that maybe he isn't the one for her. Maybe they met each other at the wrong time. Maybe she just needed a shoulder to cry on. Maybe he just needed, a distraction. She goes and says, well, you know what? You do the same thing I do. You go and you're always putting the focus on other people. Well, what about you in this church? You're dating a pastor and yet you're not willing to talk to me about the reason why you left the church. They had some other minor scuffles, but that was the main one. I looked at Gigi like, excuse me? Gigi. That was hurtful. That was hurtful. That was really, really hurtful. How are you going to tell this man? You have no idea what it is. That was so... So then she goes and talks to Charity, and they're laughing because one's laughing about the fact that G's laughing that Charity got curved, completely curved, and then Charity said, you're not doing any better. I mean, this day was supposed to last a lot longer, and yet he's gone, so you scared another one away. Congratulations. So they kind of laughing at that. Charity didn't eat because she was trying to act cute during dinner. I said, honey bunches of oats. Most men love to see women actually eat instead of pretend, oh, I just want the salad. Oh yeah, with no chicken or nothing, just the lettuce. No dressing or anything. I'm looking at you like, you're not a rabbit. Eat. Eat. Even if it's fish, even if it's shrimp. Eat. Come on now. Anyway. Kevin. Why do you keep saying Kevin? Jacob. Jacob. He kind of barks. He almost barks at Carissa when Carissa's bringing up the fact that, things aren't really going well with the house, and Bishop, can you go and check the lighting? He was like, wait a minute, I told you. I said, because Lady May jumps, looking at him like, is this some abuse that's going on? Who are you talking to like that? So then they go and leave. The whole premise of that dinner was also to reiterate the fact that Bishop had 3 jobs, while they're still trying to build up Calvary. And Carissa's whole thing is, get a job. Get a job. So once the parents leave, then they have this full-blown argument. And Jacob at one point tells her, here's how this works. This isn't a situation where you get to go and boss me around like you used to. I get it. I was cheating on you. I was doing you dirty and I was doing you wrong. So it makes sense that you were telling me what to do then. But not anymore. Let's get things straight. I'm becoming the man that you always said you wanted. And this is a man I also want to be as well. So I'm not going to let you go and talk to me any way that you want to. You're either going to stay on this bus and ride with me until the wheel fly off, fall off, blow up. I don't care. Ice over or not. You got it? I said, part of me said, I appreciate Jacob. I appreciate Jacob for standing up for himself, but I didn't like the fact that I said, excuse me, Jacob, who are you talking to like that? It made me feel a little weird. Even if it's Carissa and I don't like Carissa, it still made me feel a little weird, like, So you're going to justify you're cheating, and you're saying, oh, you allowed your wife to talk to you crazy because you knew you were cheating. Do you realize how stupid you sound right now? Hey, just like your daughter. Because he's like, oh, maybe you need to spend more time and attention on your daughter. She can't do that because she has to work because you don't want to get a job. See, now I'm getting upset. But I just wanted to put that part out there. Because Zora she went and called Isaiah. And Isaiah curved her. Because he was like, oh, yeah, I'm doing stuff. Maybe if your father didn't throw me out. It was like, oh, no, I'm sorry. But I have things to do. And hangs up. I looked at her. And I'm like, this is trash. So then Gigi and Darius reconcile because Darius lets her know he had a wife, and she was like, what? Yeah, and the wife died. What? Yeah, in the car crash. What? Years ago. What? And then when he went to his church and he asked his pastor, why this happened, and the pastor's just like, well, God has a plan. God just has a plan, so, knows that. I said, what? What type of... What? Even though you think that, you don't say that just like that to me. So that's why he hasn't been to church, because that left a bad taste in his mouth. And that's what normally happens to a lot of people who end up, not going to church after a while. It's usually something pretty big or meaningful that happened to them while they're in the church, which caused them to go and kind of curve the church, say, you know what, I'm cool on that. So then him and Grace reconcile because he's like, I want to see you around. I'm so sorry. I get it. I'm going to back off on that subject. They even kiss. They hug because she ran outside because he called and said, I'm outside. I said, oh, okay. This relationship's cute. I'm okay with this. Carissa Bozer runs back over to Calvary and tells Bishop and Lady May, yep, your boy Skanks, he's going over there and he's dealing with the who's who of the underworld in order to finance Triumph, and they still owe $250,000. $250,000. Jesus. And that's what's going on there. I mean, Jacob emptied our savings, and all we got was some land and a promise and a house. That's it. So then she said, please don't tell Jacob about this. I'm thinking, loose lips. Honey Bunches of Votes, you already know that it's going to get back to Jacob. So let's cut this right now. Let's cut it right now. So that's it. We know that they're going to take this information. They're going to run over to Triumph. And please like, comment, subscribe. Come back.